Hi, welcome everyone. Welcome back to Joesin Translation YouTube channel. So I'm so happy that I can see you again. And in this video, by the way, we are going to discuss our following lesson about the TOEFL Listening skill 25 for sure for a part C. Dan kita akan fokus di skill yang terakhir. Ini adalah skill yang terakhir. Jadi skill terakhir ini adalah draw not conclusion anymore, but listen for answers in order. Jadi kita akan mencoba untuk mendengarkan semuanya dan mencoba untuk menjawab juga, ya kan, dari audio langsung ke beberapa butir pertanyaan. Biasanya untuk satu audio itu ada 5 pertanyaan. Jadi kalian harus bisa menjawabnya. Dan skill yang diperlukan sebenarnya sama saja, yaitu kalian diminta untuk mencari informatif questionnya dan juga kalian menebak kira-kira topiknya apa, seperti itu. Langsung saja kita bahas bersama-sama. Tidak tunggu sama lagi, langsung saja. Oke, so bersamaan dengan ini, tips yang pertama yang harus kalian perhatikan di sini adalah hampir sama dengan skill 20 dan 21. Oke, cara pertama kamu bisa mendengarkan saja percakapannya. Jadi kamu bisa abaikan gitu kan lembaran jawabannya. Yang kedua, kamu bisa memperhatikan jawaban sambil mendengarkan audio. Nah, untuk cara yang pertama ini sebenarnya kalian bisa menggunakan 2 prediksi skills. Yang pertama, memprediksi topik apa yang dibicarakan. Yang kedua, memprediksi pertanyaan yang apa diajukan. Kalau yang kedua, ya kalian dual functions gitu. Kalian harus fokus dan juga kalian harus mencoba mencari jawabannya dalam satu waktu. Dan tentu saja mungkin itu agak sedikit, menantang gitu. Cuman kalau saya sih tipenya nomor 1 gitu. Oke, langsung saja kita mulai pembahasannya. Kalian akan melihat contoh percakapannya dan juga kalian akan lihat juga contoh soalnya. Pilihan jawabannya seperti ini. Oke, ini untuk nomor 1 dan sampai nomor 5. A. During a biology laboratory session. B. In a biology study group. C. On the first day of class. D. Just before the final exam. Contohnya seperti ini. Dan kalian akan coba perhatikan, ya, selanjutnya adalah audionya. Kalian bisa memprediksi kira-kira pertanyaan seperti apa. Karena pertanyaannya ada di dalam audio. Untuk soal nomor 2, seperti ini. Nomor 3, seperti ini. Nomor 4. Dan yang terakhir, nomor 5. Nah, sekarang waktunya kalian mendengarkan audionya.
Listen to each complete talk and answer the questions that follow. Talk 1. Questions 1 through 5. Listen to a talk given by a professor.
Welcome to Biology 101. I'm Professor Martin, and this is your laboratory assistant, Peter Smith. This course meets twice a week for lecture and once a week for laboratory assignments. The text for this course is Introduction to Biological Sciences by Abramson. You should get the text and read the first chapter before the next class. You will also need to get the laboratory manual that accompanies the text. I've passed out a copy of the course syllabus. This syllabus lists the reading assignments and exam dates. Note that we will cover 1 chapter a week for each of the next 15 weeks in the semester, and there will be 3 exams throughout the course. Grades in this course are based on your exam grades and your grades on the laboratory assignments. Are there any questions?
Number 1. When does this talk probably take place? Number 2. How often will Professor Martin give lectures? Number 3. What is the assignment for the next class? Number 4. What information is given in the syllabus? Number 5. What will the professor use to determine the final course grades?
Dari audio yang kalian dengarkan tadi, sebenarnya ini dia skripnya. Coba perhatikan baik-baik, kita akan ulangi sekali lagi. So, welcome to Biology 101. I'm Professor Martin. Jadi saya adalah Profesor Martin, and this is your laboratory assistant, Peter Smith. This course meets twice a week for lecture and once a week for laboratory assignments. The text for this course is Introduction to Biological Science by Abramson. You should get the text and read the first chapter before the next class. You will also need to get the laboratory manual that accompanies the text. I've passed out a copy of the course syllabus. The syllabus lists the reading assignment and exam dates. Note that we will cover one chapter a week for each of the next 15 weeks in the semester, and there will be 3 exams throughout the course. Grades in this course are based on your exam grades and your grades on the laboratory assignments. Are there any questions? Nah, seperti itu. Dari apa yang kalian dengarkan, kalian bisa jawab. Untuk yang soal nomor 1, bila kita lihat, pertanyaannya pasti bicara soal apa? Kapan, gitu kan? Kapan, when. Untuk nomor 1, jawabannya benar adalah, apakah during a biology laboratory session? Or B, in a biology study group? C, on the first day of class? Or D, just before the final exam? Ya, benar adalah yang C. Benar. The following, coba. Kalau ini, pertanyaan seperti apa? How long? Ya kan? Nah, once a week, 2 times a week, 3 times a week, or for 15 hours? The meeting might be B. Good. Lalu kemudian selanjutnya, nomor 3, to do the first laboratory, to take the first exam, to study the laboratory manual, to read 1 chapter of the text. So what's the answer? You're right. Tadi disebutkan untuk membaca 1 chapter di buku manual. Lalu kemudian selanjutnya, untuk nomor 4, room assignments, exam topics, reading assignments, or the first lecture. Apa nih? C, reading assignments. You're right. And the last one, okay, what to do? Exam and lab work, reading and writing assignments, class participations and grades on examinations, or D, lecture and laboratory attendance. That's right, the answer is A. Nah, itu adalah salah satu contoh untuk mengerjakan soal part C dari 1 sampai 5. Oke, akan ada 2 lagi sebenarnya contoh soal yang bisa jadi kalian pakai untuk latihan. Oke ya. Kalian pakai untuk latihan. Apabila kalian ingin mencari tahu jawabannya, silahkan aja kalian klik di joesintranslation.com, dan tentu saja kalian akan juga dapatkan skripnya sekaligus. So, semuanya serba mudah belajar dengan kita. Oke? Itu aja yang bisa Joesin kasih ke kalian, dan semoga ini bisa membantu. Apabila kalian memiliki pertanyaan yang lain, ya silahkan aja kalian tanyakan di kolom komentar. Oke? So, let's get started. And hopefully you got a good score.
Talk 2. Questions 6 through 10. Listen to a lecture given by a professor.
In yesterday's class, we discussed the volcanoes located in the area known as the Ring of Fire, an area which basically encircles the Pacific and includes the United States' Mount St. Helens, as well as Japan's Mount Fuji and Argentina's Aconcagua, the highest mountain in the Western Hemisphere. Most of the world's approximately 500 active volcanoes are located along the Ring of Fire, and the eruptions that take place there are among the most violent in the world. Today, we are going to discuss the volcanoes of Hawaii, which are quite different from the volcanoes in the Ring of Fire. Hawaiian volcanoes are not located along the Ring of Fire and are therefore not caused by the movement of the Earth's plates against each other. Instead, Hawaii is located in the middle of the Ring of Fire, above a massive plate rather than where 2 plates meet. The result is that Hawaiian volcanoes are much gentler than those in the Ring of Fire. Hawaiian volcanoes have much less gas in them, which causes less explosive eruptions, and the lava in Hawaiian volcanoes is thinner, which results in mounds that are long and low rather than high and steep, because the lava flows farther and builds mounds gradually with long, low slopes. Mauna Loa, the name of one of Hawaii's most famous volcanoes, actually means long mountain.
Number 6. What was the topic of yesterday's lecture? Number 7. What is the topic of today's lecture? Number 8. Where are most of the world's active volcanoes located? Number 9. What is characteristic of Hawaii's volcanoes? Number 10. What is Mauna Loa? Talk 3. Questions 11 through 15. Listen to a talk about the Smithsonian.
I hope you've enjoyed your visit so far in Washington, D.C. Today we're going on a tour of the Smithsonian. The Smithsonian is actually several museums, each with a different focus, situated together on a mall. These museums in total have more than 60 million items on exhibit. The first Smithsonian museum we'll visit is the Museum of Natural History, which has various types of stuffed animals and exhibits showing the lifestyles of early American Indians and Eskimos. From the Museum of Natural History, we'll go on to the National Air and Space Museum, where we'll see displays that show the development of flight. In this museum, you can see the airplane that Orville Wright used to make his first flight and the airplane that Charles Lindbergh used to cross the Atlantic. After we visit those two museums as a group, you'll have free time to visit some of the other Smithsonian museums, the Museum of American History, the Smithsonian Arts and Industries Building, and the various art museums located on the Smithsonian Mall. After our trip to the Smithsonian today, we'll go on to the White House and Capitol Building tomorrow.
Number 11. Who is probably giving this talk? Number 12. How many items are on exhibit in the Smithsonian museums? Number 13. According to the talk, which museum has exhibits of early Eskimos? Number 14. Which museum will they visit as a group? Number 15. Where will they go tomorrow?